All right, so this is the So What Are You Telling Me project. And it's basically a whole project where you get to argue. You get to persuade your classmates or me to believe how you believe on a certain topic. And you will have to choose from a list of approved topics. If you go outside that list, you'll have to get approval. But first, let's look through the expectations and criteria for this project. I know it's going to look like a lot, but if you work through it step by step, I've set aside days where we will do each individual thing so that it won't become too overwhelming. So, you're going to create your own persuasive argument. You're going to be expected to do research and take notes on the topic that you have chosen. You're going to have to state a claim and create an argument with counterclaims. Remember that stating a claim is your thesis statement. You're going to have to write an essay that's basically your written speech, but writing an essay about your persuasive topic. Then create a slideshow and present your ideas, present your speech to the class. And if you're in class, if you're a in-person learner, you will do this in front of the class. If you are one of our remote learners, I will set up a Flipgrid option for you to be able to give your speech there. So first you need to pick a topic. And once you have chosen your topic, you have to decide your claim. And this is where a lot of people get stuck is they pick a topic and they go, "Well, but I kind of think, but maybe not. I don't know." You can't say yes and no. You have to choose a side. Even if you're not 100%, you have to choose your side that you're going to argue in your speech. Then you will create your outline with your claim and three basic arguments. So I believe this because one, two, three. And that's how you're going to know what you need to research. So first you choose how you feel about it. Then you're going to be able to choose what you need to research. So you'll do this research. I'm going to go over how to do proper research, and you're going to take notes as you conduct this research. All of your project has to be based on research. You can't just say, because I said so. That doesn't work when teachers or parents say that to you. It makes you feel super frustrated. So you need to have reasons to support your claim. And we'll go over how to do reliable research, but everything you do must be based on research. Then we're going to go through the entire writing process. That means you have your research, then you're going to do an outline and graphic organizers. You're going to make a rough draft. We're going to peer edit those drafts. Then you're going to have a final draft. You will go through the entire process to hone in your writing and have it be, hopefully, as it usually is at the end, one of the best papers that you've ever written. And I feel it that you guys are going to have some great papers when you're guided through this and you understand each step. So I can't wait to see what you can do. Then you're going to need to create a visual for your project. All good presentations have some sort of visual, something that catches the person's eye and makes things real for them. But visuals go into a wide category. It could be a PowerPoint, which you're going to have a slideshow anyway, but it helps if you have something else. So it could be a PowerPoint. It could be newspapers or books, maybe pictures that you brought in, charts, maybe you've made a poster. It could be objects. I've had people do demonstrations in front of the class, kind of like science experiment type things that worked with their project. Sounds, movies, songs. Now, I will warn you on this. If you're choosing a movie clip or an audio clip, you have to submit it to me before your project presentation date. And I don't mean like that day you come into class and you turn it in, but a day or two before you present. I have to have those via email so that I can check and make sure that it's approved for you to show it to the whole class. So you're going to choose a visual that catches people's eye and helps make your topic more real, more tangible for them. Then you have to present it. You got to get in front of the class and present, and we're going to go over how to do presentations. You guys really haven't had to do that yet this year, which is a shame because I love doing presentations. I think students do wonderful work when you do that. And some of you, even those of you that get really nervous about presenting in front of the class, just blow me away when you have that chance. And so I can't wait to see what you do. You're going to be fine. So here's how your essay needs to be set up. It's going to be an essay to convince the audience of your claim. And you're going to anticipate counterclaims. Remember, we talked about that with Sojourner Truth's Ain't I a Woman? And I believe there was another speech that we did that with as well. But that's where you anticipate what naysayers are going to say or what critics are going to say, and you argue back. It's where you're one step ahead. Like, if I say this, they're going to say this. So my response will be, and that's your counterclaim. That's what you'd argue back when somebody tries to argue with you. And you're going to address that in your writing. That does not mean in your paragraph you say, and my counterclaim is, but you could word it very well and say something like, opponents of this idea may say, and then address what they'd say, but that is not true because, and explain it. Your speech will be typed at the end, and it needs to be at least 2 pages double spaced. I know that sounds like a lot, but really that's like 1 page single spaced. And again, we'll go over formatting and all that. There'll be days where we go over this. But your paper must include quotes and research and a works cited page. I'll go over that with how to do research, but anytime you do research, I have to know where you got the information, and the quotes will strengthen it. Then you give your speech in front of the class or recorded if you are a remote learner, and this is to convince the audience of your claim. So again, as you give your speech, anticipate some counterclaims, address them in your speech. You are not going to be reading directly from your essay, but you can use a slideshow or note cards or something to help you. But just reading directly from your essay would be super boring. Again, you're going to have a slideshow and a visual, and your speech will probably be about 3 to 5 minutes. That's what it typically is once people finish preparing all of this. And in your speech, again, you're going to include those quotes and the research and the works cited and all that on your slideshow too. Slideshows are wonderful help. I could tell you all about this project with a black screen. However, this slideshow helps me remember the details that I want to give you. And notice I'm not reading it word for word, but I am making sure that I hit those highlighted points. And that's what you're going to be able to do. We will practice this as the time gets closer. So for now, you just need to understand where you're going with this project. So how will you be graded? This is the grading criteria in the rubric here. Um, on your notes, I'll help you with what you need to write down and everything as we get in there, but just jotting down notes of things that you've researched. You're going to have an outline. We'll do that in class. You're going to have a rough draft. Then you will have a final draft. That's obviously worth a lot of points. This is out of 200, so 75 is almost half the grade. And your final draft is to stay on topic. It has to have all these things from your outline. It's organized, at least 2 pages, typed, double spaced, all that. Your bibliography is your works cited page, put in the correct format. We'll go over that. There's a really easy trick to that. And then your presentation's worth 50 points and the visual aid's worth 25. And that visual aid can be your slideshow, obviously. So all of those things add up to 200 points. So notice just by having your essay and the works cited, you make a 50 on the project. If you choose not to present, the highest you can make is a 75, and that's assuming that everything else on the project is in perfect condition. So I really want to encourage you, because a lot of people say, well, I don't want to present. That will bring your grade down drastically. It'll make it very difficult for you to pass this project if you don't choose to present. And I don't do this to be mean. Teachers are given a set of standards that we're required to teach by the end of the year. And in language arts, that's divided up by literature and informational and writing and language. And then there's a whole section called speaking and listening. And I have standards that I have to meet where I have to make you give speeches. So I am meeting those standards by doing this. Plus, we get to hear some of your amazing thoughts. So this is the information, the criteria for your project. There will be more videos and more pages on Canvas as we work into this. Make sure you follow each one in order because they will give you the information, but this is always going to be here for reference for you.